I'm honestly so intrigued by this, I want to continue. I've been thinking about him for the last few days, and now I realize something. He has no attraction as a man. Oh, he has no humor or style. He has nothing. Absolutely nothing. But he has a belly. What? There's nothing appealing about him. He doesn't care about my schedule. He's persistent when I treat him nicely because I'm in a good mood. He becomes even more persistent. Gosh, there's absolutely nothing good about him. Oh. Despite his age, he tells me that the last time he held a woman's hand was when he did folk dancing at a camp. He's such a nerd. Furthermore, he tells me that to make me laugh. He's hopeless. But more than anything, I can't stand him when he completely ignores my feelings. I want to be alone sometime. I don't want to do anything sometimes. Yet he drags me out, completely ignoring how I feel. That's why even when I'm exhausted or I don't feel like doing anything, I end up going with him, which makes me laugh. I always thought that made me exhausted. This is probably the only time I will ever feel this way. I want him to drag me around everywhere, but he's nowhere to be found. Do I really think I don't want to spend time with him? Maybe I believe his abundant affection is something that's always around me. When he took me out on a day, I didn't want to do anything. I was in a bad mood at first, but after a while I was in a great mood, and I found myself having fun with him. If he was with me now, would he take me on a photo shooting walk as usual, and explain various things which I have no interest in? That'd be very boring and troublesome, but that's honestly what I want right now. Am I trying to see my grandpa in him? Oh, I loved my grandpa. He gave me a purpose to live. I needed him. I loved Father Koizumi. He helped me with my dream. I needed him. After both of them died, maybe I wanted to see them in him. Do I just need a guardian? Maybe I'm traumatized by my parents' accident and need to have someone to watch over me nearby all the time. Maybe I'm still immature. My immature side is throwing a fit because it can't complete a toy and says if it's going to be broken anyway, she's going to break it herself. It won't be just my problem. It will be an irretrievable disaster. That's not the only way to prove my grandfather's article. I believed it and got this far. Within a few days, most people of the government front office will read my grandfather's article. They'll be fearful of his warning about the worst case scenario and regret stopping the research and acknowledge the final resolution. That's when my grandfather's article will become truth, and his great work will be hallowed. Then his name will be engraved in history, and then he will become a god. That is an eternal existence. I'll be called Oyashiro-sama, and I'll expose the Hinamizawa syndrome, and then I'll cast it down. I'm going to complete the fifth curse of Oyashiro-sama with Jiro-san's death, as well as my own. I'll become the one who curses, not the one to be cursed. I'll be in the position to test, instead of being tested. I will ascend to godhood. I'm going to make the curse real, and I'm going to kick the god of this place off her throne. And my grandfather and I will be together forever as gods. Gods don't get tested. Fate doesn't test gods. No grief will separate us. I will be with my grandpa forever. And we are going to rework on our research together in that study filled with the smell of formalin. It's a scene from the good old days. Grandpa's at his desk, writing down something. I'm in a good mood, lying on my stomach on the carpet right behind him while flapping my legs and humming a tune. I help him with his research by organizing his books as if I were playing with blocks. To go back to that particular scene is my only wish. Of course, if I could go back that far, I'd want my parents to be alive, too. If I could play with my grandpa's books near him, while listening to my mother cooking in the kitchen and my father flipping through his newspaper, that would complete my happy world. That is my ideal childhood. That world doesn't have a door to the outside world. So I can't go to my friend's house. Because if I go to my friend's house, there won't be anybody when I return. Nobody. Nobody. They'll all die in a train accident. So I don't want an outside world. I wanted to stay in my house with my parents and my grandfather. I am a doctor, after all. I can analyze myself. I know that what I'm wishing for is proof of my immaturity. If I know that much, why do I still long for a guardian figure in Jiro-san? As I plan an operation which includes his death, I still try to hang on to him. If I'm trying to be a betrayer so I can be God, then I should remain a villain until my final moment. If I'm trying to be a lonely little girl, then I should remain modest and humble until my final moment. Either way, if it is my way of life, nobody can criticize me. Because if I believe it is right, then all I can do is go on without listening to such criticism. But I still can't decide. That's why I want somebody to criticize me. Nobody's ever criticized my way. That's why I want to hear someone criticize me. I want someone to tell me my way is wrong. I want Jiro-san to tell me I've done such a stupid thing and I want him to slap me. Such thoughts make me realize I'm denying myself. Am I still longing for a guardian? I'm too old to call myself immature. But you are immature. Even if I do, nobody else will. No matter how immature I am inside, people will treat me as a grown person. And they will say I came this far with appropriate responsibility and sensibility. Then I'll be judged before the devil. Will I still plead not to judge my immature self as a grown-up? Am I going to act that pathetically even in front of the devil? I'm sure to go to hell, yet I can't be a devil. Although I don't want to go to hell, I don't change my behavior. I will float in a pool of blood and wander as I drown. If only Jiro-san was there. His insensitive conversation can clear my mind. Why isn't he around when I need him the most? This is the last chance I have to spend time with him before I kill him. I hate my immature self, but for becoming so insecure just because he isn't around. I find myself in front of the offering box. I came here when the Irie Clinic's construction was over, and the research at the Irie institution was about to start. I remember how I challenged the god of this place bravely. I was full of hope and ambition. What do you have now? After going through various hardships, I finally came this far. I even vowed I would become a god. In front of the god of this place. I remember vaguely my grandfather telling me a story similar to that. That's right, it was a story of the Tower of Babel. When there was only one language in the world. All people lived in one place with one intention. They started to build a tower that would reach heaven to display their authority. Heaven got angry because the people forgot to show respect toward God, and tried to reach heaven. Heaven thought this happened because they only had one language and one intention, and they had gathered in one place to talk about such a reckless action. So the language was shattered, people were confused, and they were given many different languages so they wouldn't be able to communicate with each other. People couldn't communicate with each other any longer, so some left and the tower which challenged heaven decayed. Something like that. I'm not sure what the lesson is. This is what my grandfather explained to me. To build a tower that reaches heavens is the biggest challenge of humans. It is also a challenge to God. And God doesn't like this challenge. It is a sinful action, but it is a challenge humans must accept. However, it's not easy to build a tower that's high enough to reach heaven. When building a tower, people start to have conflicts. They won't be able to communicate as well as when they started, and finally their intentions become confused. That applies not just to a group of people. It can be said about one person as well. No matter how firm an intention, as it gets closer to heaven, God imposes limitations on people. In other words, even an iron will can get confused sometimes. It is too arrogant for humans to think that they can carry out their original intentions. I think that was Grandfather's innermost thought. I'm sure he lost hope many times since nobody acknowledged his research. Yet he believed in himself, and he believed that someday he would be evaluated. Maybe his wish was to be evaluated, not to reach heaven. Grandfather realized he wouldn't be able to complete his research, and maybe he was trying to find where he could compromise. Humans can't build a tower that reaches heaven, but the story of the Tower of Babel is still around. It didn't reach heaven, but is still talked about as a tower that challenged heaven. According to the story, the tower was left behind with nobody in it. So the incomplete tower stayed in that place for a long time, and it never reached heaven. But if someone sees it, he will be impressed to realize that there is a hero who accepted this great challenge, and he will praise this hero. I took over the tower from my grandfather and tried to make it reach heaven, but ended up succumbing to the same fate. And if it is going to be destroyed anyway, I will try to destroy it myself. What am I doing anyway? If I hadn't tried to continue Grandfather's research, his article on the Hinamizawa syndrome would have remained forever. Even if it's an empty tower that nobody visits, if someone comes by, that person will praise the great challenge. He would have praised my grandfather. But I took over and I built it closer to heaven and made heaven angry, and the tower is now going to be destroyed. The tower will become a pile of rubble. When the Irie institution closes, all the records will be destroyed. My grandfather's wish to be evaluated by someone will never be granted. I tried to make my grandfather an eternal existence, yet I ended up making that an impossibility. What a laugh to have a name like Takano Mio. I didn't continue to count to 4. Instead, I counted down to 0. If it wasn't for me, Grandfather's article would have stayed as an empty tower. It would have stayed in this world forever, but I ruined it. I did. I start to feel my body get sweaty. The sweat reminds me that I've done something irretrievable. When did I make a mistake? Where did I go wrong? It wasn't when I came here. It was before that. I started to walk down a wrong path long before that. I put myself in my grandfather's spot, I know. My grandfather was working on a great challenge. He built a great tower. I was supposed to continue to stand there and wait for someone to evaluate it. Grandfather clearly said that he wanted to be evaluated even after his death. But I misunderstood. Somewhere along the way, I made a wrong turn. Misinterpreted Grandfather's idea, and I ruined it. I ruined everything. I tried to make him an eternal figure, and yet I destroyed it. Grandfather built an eternal tower, yet I destroyed it. Where did I make a mistake? What went wrong? It's obvious! My grandfather counted to 3, and he completed it. I simply tried to do more by adding more, and everything collapsed, and now everything is ruined. I shouldn't have tried to count to 4. I shouldn't have done anything. Besides, Grandfather didn't even ask me to continue the research. A little girl shouldn't play in this dark study. Go outside and play with your friends. I remember my grandfather telling me things like that, but I refused and stayed in the study to help him. Then he stopped telling me that and enjoyed my company while he worked. But when we first met, he used to say that. Then what? Going to Grandpa's place is the first mistake I made. Then what? When I escaped the orphanage, I shouldn't have called Grandpa. I shouldn't have found a 10-yen coin. I shouldn't have asked Grandpa to help me. Ah, now I remember. I know where I should be. Bang, 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 bang. Noise of a metal hitting something gets closer. It's getting closer. Whoa. I'm not allowed to fall asleep. I wasn't asleep. I just had my eyes closed, that's all. Sorry. Damn you. I'm sorry. I won't do it again. Don't kick. Please don't kick the metal fence. My body gets cracked. I think my body is getting cracked. Little dirty, itchy, and painful things soak into those cracks. The dirtiness and itchiness feels horrible, soaking into my chest, gathering together. I try desperately to resist it so it won't touch my heart. The dirtiness and itching draw together more and more. My whole chest is soaked and my face will be swallowed soon. And if I drown in this dirtiness and itching, I try desperately to hold my breath so my heart won't be soaked in it with it. Bang, bang. I can't hold my breath any longer. I drown in an ocean of muck. As I drink the muck, I sink down along with my heart that I tried to protect desperately. Only land animals struggle and drown because they want to go back to on the ground. Ocean animals don't struggle and drown. Grandpa won't come help me. That is the best thing for me and Grandpa. See? When I stop struggling, there is no more noise. I don't hear that scary metal noise. Is it a roar or a yell? I needed to borrow strength to scream to come back to the present world. My body is all sweaty. It feels dirty, itchy, and painful. It reminds me of that day. I feel welts coming on after the sweat crawls down my skin. No, it's just an illusion. It can't be itchy, because that's already over. I take a bath every day. I scrub my body until it gets scratched, but I can't help it. I remember the filth. I can only get rid of it by scratching my arms so hard it leaves marks. I can't get rid of the itching. I can't get rid of the filth. Of course I can't. I am a filthy existence. Grandpa shouldn't have saved someone like me. Meeting me made Grandpa unhappy. I shouldn't have existed. I shouldn't have been born. I should have stayed in that metal fence and spent my whole life there. I need to go back inside that metal fence. I should never have left. That place is where I belong. Corner me at that horrible metal noise. Crush me with that filth, itchiness, and pain. And then kill me. So I'll never meet Grandpa. Is that my wish? Yes, just like Icarus, who was left on the top of the Tower of Babel. He couldn't reach heaven and he fell to the ground. That's my wish. Bring me back inside of that metal fence. And give me back the fate that's suitable for my filthy existence. A wish of a liar won't come true, but I'm not a liar. I once stated what my true wish was, but I still haven't realized that's not the most important wish. That's why my wish won't come true. So is that the punishment for trying to challenge God? I know. A strong will creates a future. So isn't my will strong enough? Haven't I dirtied myself enough? Will the gate to hell not even open for a half-baked person like me? This is a lot of heavy stuff here. Mika-chan, Sadako-chan, how are you feeling? This is Irie. Since I was warned by Akasaka-san, I've been very careful. Just one quick thought about that whole Takano bit there. Obviously, she has some kind of... She's... has a lot of problems in her past, which have left very, very deep scars on her, which probably led her down this path. And it's a quick thought. She's most definitely, as we've seen a few times, she most definitely still suffers from, I'm no expert, but I'd say it's some kind of post-traumatic stress disorder, at least. Obviously, still has very vivid nightmares and memories of all that shit that she had to go through there. And with everything about being unclean and being itchy and taking a bath every night, she could very well be infected with Hinamizawa syndrome and it be acting up, and she probably couldn't tell the difference. It's concerning. Yes. It's very concerning. Wow. Akasaka-san opens the door silently. How are you doing? It's getting lively outside, huh? Yeah. Everyone is busy getting ready for tomorrow's festival. Here's some shaved ice for the girls, courtesy of the stand overseer. Let's have some. This looks great. Akasaka-san is wearing a t-shirt and he's sweaty. All the windows have been shut, and he can't even open the curtains, so it is hot inside. But even accounting for that, he sure is sweating like crazy. Look at your sweat. It sure is hot in here. Hey, Rika, there's a sweaty hot guy in your room. No, I was exercising a little. Of course, I try to be very quiet. I'm just getting myself ready for any type of situation, that's all. A little exercise is good for you to refresh. I'm sure you've been under a lot of stress for the last few days. You must be exhausted mentally, too. No, I'm used to this kind of thing. But I really appreciate your bringing in some stuff. Akasaka-san smells like a child and eats strawberry-flavored shaved ice. I'll be your hero. So has there been anything yet? Have you heard from Tomitaki-san? No, nothing yet. Takano-san was saying she can't get a hold of Tomitaki-san. That's right, he changed his hotel, huh? Do you think she's noticed something? No, I don't think she has. I told her he's probably just going around taking pictures. But it's a matter of time before she becomes suspicious. There will be a strong wind soon, one way or another. Dr. Irie, please be very careful. Yeah, of course. Oh, by the way, I just saw Luigi-san, and he told me to tell you something. I explained the 48-hour operation to Akasaka-san. Akasaka-san is impressed with the idea, especially because I told him it came from the girls. That's a great idea. That'll shake our enemy quite a bit. It'll give Tomisaki-san a big opportunity to find out something. So when is the operation going to take place? That'll be decided when they meet with Luigi-san tonight. Since we don't have much time, it may be as early as tomorrow morning. I see. It's pretty stressful, just waiting for a battle to begin. If there is something we can do, we might as well just do it. Your time in Hinamizawa is limited too, so how much longer can you stay? I told my wife I should be home by midnight on Sunday, but if the situation changes, I have to stay here longer. Yuki's the wife of the policeman. She will understand. You can't even call your wife from here, huh? Sorry to put you in this situation. Don't worry. It's not like we're newlyweds. She won't divorce me for not calling her every night. Although he says that, I can easily tell that Akasaka-san wants to call her and talk to her. So have there been any changes on your end? If there's anything you need, I'll bring it. I really don't mean anything yet. Any changes, well, it's hard to say. There are just too many people going in and out for the festival. Even if there's someone suspicious among them, I can't tell. We should assume our enemies are among them to observe, so we should be on guard. You're right. By the way, the mountain hounds are starting to move, just as you said. When I asked Okanogi-san about their plan, he told me that they increased the level of security before and after the festival, assuming a possibility of a suspect trying to target Rika-chan, while making it look like the 50 Years Curse. That matches the situation right now. It almost looks like all the preparations, officially and unofficially, are going smoothly for tomorrow's festival. Tomorrow will be a festival with combined meanings, huh? If the 48-hour operation gets underway tomorrow morning, it'll be a turbulent day tomorrow. That's right, everything changes tomorrow. June 19th, 58th year of Showa era. It's a turbulent day that divides the peaceful world and the tragic world. The fate of this world changes on this day. I finish my secret meeting with Akasaka-san and leave as I call to the second floor window, pretending to talk to the girls. When some villagers see me do that, they ask me how the girls are doing. They ask me about both girls, which makes me feel happy. That is good. What Oryo-san yesterday has already spread among the villagers. In other words, the curse of Oyashiro-sama may have already been lifted before tomorrow's festival. If nothing happens tomorrow, this village is finally free from the curse and the ghost of the damn conflict. As we get ready for this battle, I realize the extent of our responsibility. At the same time, I feel strength within me. Oh, Takano. That's really cool. Seems like finally, with everything we've done in the past to sort of nudge along curing that rule. I forget which rule it was, X, Y, or Z, but Z, I think. It seems like why am I blanking out on... I'm really blanking out. Keiichi. Yeah, God, what the hell? That was a weird fucking mind blank. Fuck, shit, God. Everything Keiichi did in Minagorushi kinda rubbed off here. Oreo finally said enough to sort of dispel that fog. Even as we know she's done some stuff in the past, and she's had a great desire to do stuff in the past, she's finally said a little something about it, and that just kind of subconsciously spread a little bit. Anyways, after greeting officials under the main tents, I run into Takano-san as I head back to the clinic. It's unusual for her to be here alone. If Tomitake-san was with her, I could understand, but she would never come here alone. For a moment, I thought maybe she suspected a connection between me and Akasaka-san, but she isn't acting that way. I'm relieved. How unusual. What are you doing here? Nothing really. I'm just taking a walk. I see. It's a nice day today. I bet it's a perfect day to take a walk. I wonder if Jiro-san is taking a walk too. Her words have a strange nuance. She's supposed to be spending time with him out of politeness. At least that's how she's been acting. So when I hear her say that, I'm a little surprised. Maybe so. He's from Tokyo. I'm sure he's enjoying the fresh air and the beauty of Hinamizawa. Director, do you have any idea where Jiro-san went? No, I don't. He didn't come to the meeting last night. It was a good thing someone else took his job, but he should have been there. He's neglecting his job, don't you think? This is going in a wrong direction. I have to change the subject. Well, I'm sure he needed a little break. I bet he wanted to be alone, just like you. Yeah, I guess. I think that went well. Just some talk about Tomitake-san after that. It's interesting. Thinking back on her little desire for Tomitake to be here and talk to her and berate her and slap her. Hmm. It feels like the only people she's ever taken seriously and seen as, well, people in this present time are the people most important are the two people she mentioned, obviously, Grandpa Takano and Koizumi Sensei. And it's interesting that she's looking for the same sort of thing from Tomitake. Interesting that he's become something to her. Even though the last time she killed him without hesitation, seemingly. Then again, we didn't see inside her head for that. I wonder. Higurashi, it is the biggest festival of the year. Its scale's gotten bigger and bigger every year, and has reached the highest point this year. I'm sure men and women of all ages of the village will enjoy tomorrow's festival. Takano-san and I won't overlook the heartwarming scene. Tomorrow will be so much fun. Yeah, it will be fun. So that is such an ironic conversation. We're talking about completely different things. I can hardly wait for the festival to start. I know. A fun festival is about to begin. I notice an indescribable, bitter smile on her face. I hope it'll be a nice day tomorrow. After all of these preparations, it'll be a shame if it rains. They worked so hard to prepare for this grand festival. A little rain won't stop them. Oh? Yeah, I guess. Despite the weather, there will be a festival, huh? Yes, there will be a grand festival. I'm sure. Oishi meeting? Oishi-san agrees to participate. In other words, he gives us a go sign. Good job. I bet you had some difficulties. No, not really. They actually agreed pretty easily. Boy, how nice to be young. I was the only one who struggled to come up with with a decision. How pitiful. We can't turn back anymore. I will do my best. Serious, Oishi. Oishi-san has so much presence. When he's determined, he is so reliable. This will work. The operation will be a success. The enemy is unthinkably huge, but we are attacking first. It's just like a sumo wrestling match. Even a huge wrestler can be defeated with a little change in position. See, Rika? Doesn't it feel assuring to have this many allies? I have no intention of interrupting you. I was almost ready to give up just a few days ago. But now, I can't believe how things have changed. It just may be possible to change fate. Rika, that's not good enough. You're right. I shouldn't say we may change fate. We will change it. We will win. We will defeat fate. Okay, the timing of the traps is extremely important. What do you mean timing? We should act immediately. It will be 48 hours since Rika-chan had disappeared tonight. The longer we wait, the better the position the enemy will be in. So we should act right away. That's true. If we are too careful, that will give them more time. We should keep on our guard up, but our attack should be daring. It's assuring to have your approval, Keiichi and Rena. So what about it, everyone? No objection. My mind is set. I'm ready any time. Serious Rika face. Is it time yet? What do you think, Sadako? We should hurry, of course, but right now may be too hasty. If we want to surprise them, I think we should do it more calmly. Surprise attack should take place at night. Is there better timing than now? Calm down. You're both right. Surprise attacks always happen at night. But look at us now. We are energetic even in the middle of the night, right? A night attack was effective when there was no electricity. Nowadays, a surprise attack doesn't always have to take place in the middle of the night. There is a better time. Is there really a better time for a surprise attack? Oh. I got it. A daybreak surprise attack, right? Oh, you know some advanced words, don't you? It's true that the worst time to call someone is not in the middle of the night. It is early in the morning. People can't even think straight when they're half asleep. A surprise attack at dawn. Yeah, that's a great timing. Yeah, I think that's the most effective. Knowing how Takano-san is, it is more than likely she will do something, making it look like the 50 years curse, and she'll try it tomorrow night. It's normal to try to get plenty of sleep the night before. Oh ho ho! I now know the perfect timing for my traps. A surprise attack at dawn. Oh shit! Holy shit! I've always wanted to do that. I'm so psyched! You're just like my guys, my Bara-san. Hey, does that mean I'm the only man involved who isn't psyched? Oh my. Here I go! Time to get psyched. Okay. The 48-hour operation gets underway tomorrow at dawn. We'll see how the enemy will move. We'll confuse them, and depending on their reaction, we'll attack accordingly. This is a raid. Okay. As a leader of this club, I now decree that the 48-hour operation is in effect. Keiichi's just a... Oishi's just a member of the club. We will carry out our tasks at 4 a.m. tomorrow morning. It'll get busy suddenly. All members should be ready for an immediate response. So be ready physically and mentally. And don't forget, the fate of Hinamizawa rides on this battle. The enemy's conspiracy can destroy the village. Huh. We'll never let that happen. Well, we'll see how the enemy will react. Do they become demons, or do they become big snakes? Me? Maybe they'll become kittens. Oh, that would be so cute. I don't think so. Something huge will happen for sure. This is just a slight earthquake. This is just a foretaste of a huge tsunami. That's right. I feel that slight earthquake too. We'll create the huge tsunami. Who will be swallowed by it, the village or the enemy? And we'll ride that huge wave! The 48-hour operation will shock the enemy. They'll be confused, and they will stick their necks out. Nobody knows what that might be, but we are all ready. We are surrounding the enemies on this huge game board that is Hinamizawa. This game, the festival, will start with our siege. Come on, we're ready. We're ready for June 19th of the 58th year of the Showa era. Hey Rika, have this many emotions ever gathered on this day? Actually, there were always many emotions in this world. There were always countless numbers of them gathered in this forgotten June 19th. We just never realized it, because we always looked at this world subjectively. There are so many people in this world, and each has very important emotions. All those feelings gather and create this shape. With this many emotions, what kind of world will we see? What kind of peace will be allowed? Who will win, Takano or us? The time to find out is now. Let's open it. Let's open the door to June 19th of the 58th year of the Showa era. We'll be right back with more Higurashi. Fuck yeah!